Okay, here we got another question for you.
Hi, Jennifer. Just curious to see if there's any place that, like, if there's a workshop or something that people, if they're interested in doing these kinds of like creams and that for themselves, that they can go and learn how to make these.
Well, I used to, but now on maternity leave, no. There are places in Toronto that I think if you talk to Com or even Amy there, she might have some ideas for workshops. But no, not until I get back into the business. I don't do anything, and I don't know of anyone who does right now.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
And that will lead me, I guess, into a question I should ask: is how important do you think these alternative methods are for people to learn?
Ridiculously important. So these are more important, I think, than smoking. Right now, one of the big things that I'm trying to figure out is as soon as you change that dry flower, it's illegal, right? So how are people going to use a medicine that is legal, even if you're a card holder, that's legal? I want to be able to make these things myself, like a lot of other people do. And so we need to do this right.
Yeah, because like I know they had the case there in British Columbia, the Owen Smith case, that was connected to the Cannabis Buyers Club of Canada out there, where he was raided and busted for making baked goods.
Yep.
During the case, they've determined that in British Columbia that patients should have access to these things, but unfortunately, the rest of the country technically is not covered by that decision. In an earlier interview that I had with Jacob Hunter of wideprohibition.ca, he talked about how the courts across the country would have to, in each province, would have to make their own determination, and some would be for it and some would be against it. Maybe.
That's right.
Which would then at that point, like, go ahead.
Sorry, it's going to take the people getting together and discussing what they need and want, and having the courage to come out of that closet.
Correct. Yeah, and that's what it takes is to get people to get out in the open. When you're making these alternatives, dry plant matter, wet plant matter. Got any?
Dry. Cured properly.
Yeah.
Make sure there's no mold in it.
Yeah.
It's really important. Except for juicing.
We're going to get to there.
Sorry.
We're going to get to that one.
So.
We'll go right to the juicing right now. In the videos that we watched, they did talk about the juicing of cannabis and how important they're fresh. The leaves are fresh right off the plant and put right into the juicing machine or whatever apparatus and go from there. Any experience in juicing?
No, I'm learning about it this year. This will be my first year. My aim is to juice it and then freeze it in ice cube containers so that I can use it throughout the year.
Yes.
Food, so we want to get as much of the goods as you can.
That would go along with your training and all that, would it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, exactly. During the videos they were showing how important the juicing is versus the smoking of it, and then how much of the plant matter actually goes up in smoke, or the beneficial parts go up in smoke versus the juicing method. And there's things in there that our body absorbs which we wouldn't get through the smoking. It was quite the video watching. It was actually a Leaf video from Kirsten and William Courtney. Dr. Courtney there.
Oh.
That's what we watched.
Did you send that one to me? That link?
Sure, I can send that to you. And there was the power of cannabis was another one that we also watched, which was a little bit older. And it's quite the video. It shows a 2-year-old boy who was dealing with brain tumors, and the hospital and the doctors sent him home and said, "Sorry, this is all that we can do for them." So somebody introduced them the juicing, and like a month and a half later, the boy was still alive, and they went in, took some tests, did some scans of the tumors, and they were just amazed at how much they shrunk. And they said to the people, like, what did you do? And they told them they juiced cannabis. Yep, gave them a shot glass a day, and I believe it was just before he went to bed at night. I think they said, and how much of his life was like his life is there. He's got a life, you know. So it was quite the thing to see. And even last night, not last night, Friday night's video, we talked with a fellow afterwards, and he's dealing with skin cancer. Okay, and he used creams.
Yeah.
And they had surgery planned for him, and when they went in to remove it, all there was a little speck left. They couldn't believe it was like an eighth of the size. So they still went and removed the little piece of it, right? But yeah, they were just amazed. So there is evidence out there and proof out there that this stuff does work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And why aren't we listening?
Yes. Yeah, and juicing eliminates that psychoactive effect that they always say is the negative, the bad part to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's absorbed.
Exactly. Let's see what else offhand here. What do you think about Health Canada not allowing the non-smoking methods of cannabis, like in our license?
Well, this year my aim is to change that. So the more, hopefully, when I went to the Cancer Society to talk to them about the walk and the Arthritis Society, both told me that I needed to start working for all people because there's too much of a stigma attached, and that they also couldn't support it because it was smoking. So if the Cancer and Arthritis Society won't take it on because you're smoking and that's a bad habit, then we need to do something to make sure that people have access to this medicine that they can grow freely in their garden and utilize in whichever form they feel is best for them.
Correct.
Let's educate.
That's right. That's right. And that's part of the thing is that they're always saying smoking is unhealthy, smoking is bad. You shouldn't be smoking cannabis, but yet they won't allow you to do a non-smoking method. There's something didn't seem right there, to me. So.
It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Really.
Yeah, exactly. Well, has anybody got any questions? No, I think we're good. Jennifer, have you got anything that you'd like to mention, talk about, discuss while we're here?
Just, I hope that people find the courage to step up. I know this is a really scary thing. Your government is there, and they're not sure, whether to support it or not, because it's all about the votes. But the more people that speak up, the more chance the government will actually have our backs. So.
That's right. And talking about the government, definitely, that was part of our delay today. Was the fact that we did have a representative here from Rick Norlock's office, the Conservative member in our riding. He came here today, and he watched the videos, and he asked a pile of questions afterwards. He wanted to know how things could be improved, and whether it was medicinally or whether it was recreational. And he was looking for some input. We were quite surprised he was here. We thanked him for coming and participating, and then he left after we were done with the videos. He took a copy of Treating Yourself magazine and a brochure with him back to our MP. So it was good. It's good to see that maybe they are reaching out.
It's changing. We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
And that's what it takes is more people to speak out, more people to come out of the closet, more people to talk. And people always say here in Canada, how did the gay community get rid of their stigma and their fight. They came out of the closet and they spoke up.
That's it. When people realize you're not a bunch of stoners hanging out in dark corners.
That's right.
And then they start to be more accepting.
Yeah, we're real people, So, okay, Jennifer. At this moment, I'd like to say thank you for taking your time to educate everybody here about the alternative ways of using cannabis. And I'd also like to thank Gerhard and the staff here at the Grindhouse in Campbellford for allowing everyone to come in and get educated on cannabis, and for participating in this, and for the people on YouTube who will be watching this afterwards. Thank you all for being people that are advocating cannabis education. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And thanks for taking the time to learn.
Thank you. They all say thank you back. We'll talk to you soon, Jennifer.
Have a great day.
You too.